Good morning. It's time to call to order the September 22nd, 2016 meeting of the Oklahoma City Airport Trust. The first item on our agenda is to approve the minutes of the August 25th, 2016 Oklahoma City Airport Trust.
Move approve.
We have a motion.
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? Please cast your votes. And the minutes are approved. Director's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everyone. For my director's report this morning, I'd like to give an update on our terminal design initiative that we have. September of last year, we showed the trust some renderings of our design, and we've more fully developed that scheme. And so I've asked Rick Johnson with Frankfurt Short Bruza, who is the lead engineer on the team, to come up this morning and give us a presentation update as we get ready to go into construction document phase. Rick?
Thanks, Mark. Morning, everybody. Glad to be here today to give you an update on the design progress on the terminal expansion project. As Mark said, we presented schematic design last year. We've completed design development and are getting ready to start our construction document phase. I'm up here, but our team is, I want to mention some of our team members. As you may recall, FSB, Local Architects and Engineers, is the AE of record, but we are partnered with HOK, national design firm for the terminal design itself, and JDA, which is a terminal planning company that was involved in the study, as well as MacArthur, a local civil. Other consultants, but those are the main team members, so I represent all them today, so I'm wearing all those hats. Let's go to the first slide, please. Just a brief overview of the overall project goals. We have designed the next phase of expansion for the airport as determined by the 2008 master plan, which we also confirmed as one of the first steps in our project. This expansion is a design element on the east end of the building that actually creates symmetry on the main terminal arc of the building. It includes a consolidated checkpoint and streamlined experience for the passengers, and accommodates future expansion. Most importantly, it includes 4 gates. There will be 3 airline gates and 1 gate for that's the airport gate used for overflow and other things. We took the opportunity with these changes to introduce meet-a-greeter lounges and to provide a better passenger experience for those arriving and those picking up. We also improved public circulation, and everything is done with the idea of improving passenger service. I might also point out that our program and our design will accommodate future international travel and diverts and that sort of thing. Next slide. This view is very similar to the SD schematic design view. This is at the departure level, looking at the east end of the terminal. You can see the tied two-bay space. This is architecturally announces the security checkpoint and lobby area and enhanced queuing. You can see the use of materials, predominant glass like on the existing building, same use of angles, same use of overall geometry vocabulary. Next slide, please. Another aerial view of the outside, again very similar to SD's, just some slight refinements. This is south looking north. You can see the parking garage there. What's evident here is the 2-story space, front to back, that is the main public space at the end of the existing main terminal. And then off of that to the east is the beginnings of the east concourse expansion. This first portion is those 4 gates. Just throw it in as a pilot's eye view. If you happen to pull a plane in, this is what you're going to see. This is a 2-story space that separates the existing terminal on the left from the new terminal on the right. Gives you an idea of the character, the complementary but not identical character of the design. So what we're going to do is kind of take you inside. These are some new images of how the inside has been developed and how it complements the existing architecture. This view here, we're standing in the existing main terminal at the east end looking into the new space. The existing tile stonework is readily visible, so you can see how we've worked to blend the geometry and the materials of the two spaces together. I might point out the flooring is terrazzo. We worked with the airport quite a bit to define a blend that is very compatible with the existing tile, color of the existing tile. But we all agreed we didn't want the clickety-clack, so we're going to a terrazzo. And that blend was done with the idea that in the future the airport may wish to use that same color scheme to move back into the existing terminal. So it complements all the existing architecture. I want to talk about natural. Can we go back? I want to talk about natural light a little bit. You can see the natural light in the space. You can also see there's some signage there. I need to point out the signage. It will be there's no words on it. It will be designed to the standards of the signage package and the standards that the airport has recently adopted. Also in the distance there, you can see a staircase and a bridge, a flying bridge across there. That is public access and public circulation, and we're going to come back to that a little bit. I think we can go to the next one. So we're going to do a kind of a mock walkthrough of a passenger experience, and then we'll come back around and do a mock walkthrough of a public experience, non-ticketed passenger. What we're seeing here is inside that lobby is a large queuing area. The lobby and queuing area are designed to be able to accommodate future phases of growth in the terminal. It is, we future-proofed it as best we can, work with TSA on changing standards and developed a design that accommodates growth and change from the TSA perspective. Again, you can see the second-story bridge, which is publicly accessible on the second floor there. I'll come back and talk about that in a little bit. Let's go to the next slide, and you get a better shot of the checkpoint itself. You can see the floor colors change. That's by design. The ceiling is lower. That's by design. That is all to help accommodate changes in technology. As we all know, TSA technology changes over time, and we want to be able to best accommodate that without having long poles with lights on them or things stubbed up out of the floor. So this, by the way, this is also by design a clear space with no columns, unlike the spaces they're in now. So we can better accommodate changes to spacing between the aisles as their equipment changes. So let's go through. Once we go through there, we're in at what we call a town square. After you've gone through the checkpoint experience, you come into this nice two-story space with skylight, open area, not a lot of natural daylight. Again, that second floor is actually public viewing, and we'll go up there in a little bit. Might point out that the use of materials again, the flooring, the stone, the wood ceilings. I didn't mention the wood ceilings in the checkpoint area, but those are, again, color and material that is in the existing project. What we're showing is representative examples of artwork. There is an opportunity for artwork pattern on the glass. That's full floor-to-ceiling glass on the second floor. There's also an artwork piece planned for, we've been working with Karen and her team on an artwork piece planned for the skylight area as well. Next. Okay, so we've gone, the town hall we were just in is kind of vanishing in the middle right there. So what we've done is we've walked down to the end of the new east terminal, east concourse, four gates there, and we've turned and we're looking back. What we want to show you here is the characteristic of the design, that it is very similar to the existing terminal, complementary, not identical. There are some reasons for that. One is the roof lines on this part of the building had to be modified a bit to accommodate sight lines from the tower to the airfield. So slightly different roof lines, but we have a clear story element. We have the same structure. We have stainless steel clad columns. Again, the terrazzo, carpeted areas. The hold rooms are a little bit bigger than, but more to current standards than the East Concourse. So they are slightly larger, but again, very open. On the right side, and kind of top to bottom in the middle there, you can see the bridge coming across that allows the public to view the activity on the secure side. Next slide. Back into the town square. Now we're looking west instead of east, and we are actually underneath the upper level. To the right is the town square, the two-story town square space with the sculpture, seating elements. As you can see, along to the left of your screen is a two-story glass wall viewing the airfield and the activities on the airfield. This is for ticketed passengers. This is a recomposure lounge area when you're waiting for your gate. Food concessions will be available. I'll point those out in just a second. But people can sit casually here rather than in the gate area. We go to the next one. We're now moving westward. We're in the existing, actually we're on the edge of the new town square. There's terrazzo in the lower view there, and then we're looking into the existing main terminal at gate 24, where Delta is right on the corner there. This is really just a transition. We're going to walk into, as an exiting passenger, we're going to walk from the town square into the meet or greeter lobby. But wanted to point out, again, the complementary materials, complementary architecture. You can see the similarities between this and the east design. On the left is the concessions structural bay that will be dedicated for concessions. On the right, there's two bays for concessions. We had a lot of dialogue about concession space and how the sizing of that might impact depending on which airline goes into the new terminal, and so we've worked through that and provided the maximum flexibility for the airport to make decisions on concession space. So we're going towards that blue OKC welcome sign. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, the passenger has just come through those doors to the right. That is from secure to non-secure. So this is a public area. So this replaces the standing queue at the end of the, I forgot the name of yes, escalators. Thank you. End of the escalator. So instead of that, we have a nice. We've been able to leverage the nice two-story spaces that TSA is now in, and as right now it's cluttered with equipment. But imagine it all opened up and refinished and with seating for the public, and that's what this will be. There will be both of the current checkpoints will be meet or greeter lobbies, one for the east, one for the west.
So that's the current east checkpoint.
This is the current east checkpoint, yes. And want to point out the staircase that, again, is publicly accessible circulation up above. You can see the complementary materials. We're sticking with the wood theme that's currently in the east and west checkpoint and complementing it, doing a lot to make the new spaces in the old blend to appear as one, even though they're done over a different time. Next. So that was kind of the secure passenger experience. This is the public circulation. We want to highlight some things on the second level. So we're back in the lobby area on the north side, queuing. You can barely see some stanchions off to your right. And we're headed towards that stairway, and we're going to go up the stairs. So let's do that. At the top of the stairs, this is a great shot of old blending with new. This is the queuing area and the security checkpoint, of course. You can see on the right side, that is all existing main terminal. Ticketing areas, you can see the complementary geometry, the complementary materials, different functions, but meant to blend the building together to be as one. On the floor, you can better see the transition of floor color. It gets darker as we go towards the checkpoint itself. The dark is aesthetic, and it's also functional in that it's easier to patch and repair later once, when technology changes and TSA insists on drilling holes in your floor. Those will be better concealed in a dark color. So, again, this is public view going up the stairs. And next slide, we'll go. That public corridor actually goes above the checkpoint and comes out the other side on the air side. To the left, you can obviously see the airside activity. To the right, that's just a close-up snippet of potential artwork on the full-story glass. That glass, again, looks down onto the town square. There are also views from this level. They're not only the town square and the airfield, but you can view into the concourse of the main terminal. You can view into the concourse of the east terminal. So, when we were pitching this design, we characterized it as a family can drop grandma off at the checkpoint, watch her go through, go upstairs, watch her come out the other side, watch her go to her gate, and watch her take off. So a nice aesthetic feature that the airport wanted to incorporate into the design. Used to be at the airport, and now it's back. Ending with a closer view of the airfield activity, opportunities to, if your plane's delayed, you can come up here and watch, or if you get to the airport early to pick up grandma, you can sit up here and watch the planes go by. All right, next slide. Talk a little bit about schedule. We currently have an enabling works package that you all approved and has been awarded. That construction is about to begin. That is preparatory package for the land that the East Terminal will sit on. That construction will anticipate completion second quarter of 2017. Of course, we've completed our programming and planning and schematic design phases. We've completed the design development phase, and we've been working with the airport on developing the PFC package and funding mechanisms. Those are nearing completion. And we're getting ready to start the construction document phase. Construction is anticipated this time to complete first quarter of 2019. Talk a little bit about money. This is a high-level view of the overall project cost. On the left, on the column there, you can see we have identified, through DD phase, we identified 3 packages having to do with different funding sources. The enabling works package I mentioned is preparatory. It's the demolition of the cargo building and preparing some utilities and services. The terminal package is the building itself. That's the main component. There's also, we call it an apron package. That's the airfield side. That's the parking positions at the gates, all the civil works that go in and around the building and make the building functional. So those are 3 packages that we are anticipating at this time. Total program costs, not just project costs, but total program costs are shown there. The funding sources are AIP. AIP is mostly for civil works, so the enabling works package and the apron package for exterior parts. The PFC process application is for the terminal itself, and then the OCAT self-funded portions are shown there. So, and that's what we have to show you today. Do we have any questions?
Mark, the PFC, will the existing level of PFC fund this?
Yes, the highest you can go is $4.50, and that's what we're at now. What we're seeking actually on this trust agenda is the authorization to submit a passenger facility charge application to support the funding of this project with PFCs. A couple of other things just to mention, which kind of gets into the weeds, but I just want to make note that we're also creating some space in the new construction for the airport police to come up to the second level to have better offices. We'll be relocating airport operations, which has been in a cargo annex building for over a decade, back into the main building. We will also be relocating the YMCA to a more permanent location and a very nice location, doing some other mechanical heat and air improvements, relocating an elevator and some administrative third floor space because we're outgrown. So that's just some of the other components. But mainly today we wanted to give you a view of what the passenger and visitor experience is going to be going through the new sections. All right.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, sir. Very enlightening. Moving on with our agenda, Will Rogers Road Airport.
Thank you. Item A is to approve a contract with Benham Design for the Aviation Records Building Roof Replacement and Building Repairs Project at Mike Monroney Aeronautical Center, $198,588. B is to approve Addendum 1 with the 74th Street Drainage and Fence Repair Project at Mike Monroney. We're accepting the bids and awarding the contract to Young Contracting, LLC for $58,120, and we're approving contract and bonds. C is change order 1 to the contract with Jim Cooley Construction for the radar training facility project at Mike Monroney. We're adding $1,345. Items D, E, F, and G are concurring with consultant review committees and authorizing negotiation of contracts with various architectural and engineering firms for airport capital improvement projects. H is approving amendment number 6 to the contract with TTK Construction doing the north phase of the Portland realignment project. This amendment deducts $148,066.95. We're also approving a change order number 4. It adds $133,050.34. I is approving a contract for services with Robeson and Associates to do 2 design roofs, one on the store building and one on the field maintenance south roof replacement projects. Combined A&E cost of $132,860. J is accepting the recommendation for the bids for the irrigation and controls project, awarding the contract to Grooms Irrigation Company for $630,411, approving contract and bonds. Item K is adopting the resolution to waive competitive bidding and authorizing the sole source purchase of upgraded fabric from USA Shade and Fabric Structures. This is for the West Shuttle parking lot, which is a canopied carpet lot, and we're doing this under the warranty under estimated cost of $164,483. L is approving amendment number 1 to the contract for consultant services with ADG. This is for the terminal expansion project. We're adding $313,020. M is adopting a resolution finding an emergency exists and waiving competitive bidding, authorizing the sole source purchase of the rotating cab for passenger loading bridge number 10 from ThyssenKrupp Airport Systems, $150,836, and ratifying the director's actions. N is adopting the joint resolution with the City of Oklahoma City and the Airport Trust, authorizing the adjustment of parking rates for our paid public parking facilities. And O is adopting the joint resolution between the Airport Trust and the City, authorizing the submission of an application to the Federal Aviation Administration for the passenger facility charge to support the new terminal renovation and expansion project, Phase 3. Those are all the items under Will Rogers, Mr. Chairman.
Comments or questions?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Please cast your votes. And it is so approved. Wiley Post.
General Aviation has 3 items accepting the recommendation on the bids for the Hangar 4C re-roof project and awarding the contract to Diversified Construction of Oklahoma for $110,900, approving the contract and bonds. This is for Clarence E. Page Airport. B is ratifying the Trust General Manager actions to accept the grant funds offered by the Federal Aviation Administration for Wiley Post Airport for airfield infrastructure repairs and improvements, Phase 3. Item C is adopting the resolution authorizing the Director to purchase environmental services from Intercon Services utilizing city contract at Wiley Post Airport. That's all for General Aviation.
Move the item.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Please cast your votes. And it is so adopted and ratified. General.
Under General, we just have our standard reports, the delinquent report, construction project status report, and budget to actual report approval. Request approval.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? And they are approved. Lease and other agreements.
A is to accept the assumption agreement and use guarantee for a sale of a T-hanger unit from Double H Aviation to Mary and Pablo Pinson, as provided by the lease agreement with PWA Incorporated at Wiley Post. Item B is to approve an assignment and assumption agreement assigning the lease for a hangar site for the storage of privately owned aircraft from Robert and Ramona Ritchie to Martin Cubier family at Clarence E. Page Airport. C is approving Supplement 1 to the farm lease agreement with Paul Boyles for 2 years commencing November 1. D is approving Supplement number 1 to the contract with Littleman Group doing business as JetBridge America. They do the inspection and maintenance services for our passenger loading bridges commencing May 22nd, 2017 at Will Rogers. Item E is approving the modification of our contract with the Transportation Security Administration. We're just modifying the encumbered amount, and we're finally closing this agreement at Will Rogers. And last is to approve a supplement to ISS Facility Services contract, our janitorial contract, to include cleaning of the service animal relief area, and that commences October the 1st. Those are all the leases, Mr. Chairman.
You've heard the items under leases and other agreements.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Please cast your votes. And it's so done. Roman numeral 8.
Request for approval of the requisitions.
So moved.
Second.
We have any questions or comments? Please cast your votes. And it is so adopted. Next up, comments from trustees. Seeing none. Comments from staff. Again, seeing none. Any citizens wishing to be heard? Seeing none. Thank you all. We are adjourned.